And behold, the BadUSB. Or at least, my attempt at it. So, what is a BadUSB? Simply put, it's a device you plug in just like any other USB, and it acts like a USB. Sort of. So, right here, I'm using the Arduino Leonardo. You know what makes the Arduino Leonardo interesting? It has a specific type of processor chip. A processor chip that allows it to act as a keyboard or a mouse. It becomes practically a user input device. Very interesting. So, on its own, that doesn't sound all that interesting. I mean, Ira, what can I do with a user input device? You can't really do all that much with a keyboard. Are you sure? Well, you can do terminal commands, right? In fact, you can do a lot from the terminal. I hope I got your attention, because, well, I think that BadUSB devices are really, really neat. Well, that's just great to know. So how does this BadUSB device work? At least a little bit. So, it's an Arduino Leonardo, a reprogrammable microcontroller. So, you're able to install a script on it, written in basically C++. And on top, we have a screen for an UI. But the important part is this little micro SD card. I'll explain why. This program, this fun little thing, it runs the scripts, the text commands that are loaded onto the SD card. So let's just pop them back in. And let's talk about it just a little bit. You can select which of the different files to run from the user input. I mean the GUI, using the screen. That's great. But each of those files, they have scripts on them. Scripts that the Arduino runs on your computer. Sort of. So it acts as a keyboard and runs those scripts. So it opens... let's just explain the process. It opens a terminal and begins typing away, using whatever scripts are on that SD card. So let's look at one example. An example meant for a Linux system. Linux. You know, everybody's favorite operating system. At least it's mine. Right here, we're going to ship a shell using Netcat over to another computer, a listening computer. Pretty fun. So, first, we kind of need our own IP address. It's a tad bit important. And then with that IP address, we need to update our script. Because, well, this one is a tad bit more dynamic than the others, because it actually does something. Something that's a tad bit more useful. So, we have to edit the SD card itself. So let's pull that up. If you look at the script, it's actually really, really short. This one, it doesn't have to do very much. All it does is literally just ships a shell over to another computer. We're using port 23 because I've kind of got something else running on other. Port 23, it doesn't matter which port you use. I just decided to run 23. Ta-da! And, yeah. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's set up a listener using something. Let's just use Uncat. Set up a listener listening on port 23 without forgetting shell. Yeah, anyways, we have a listener. And let's plug in our fun little BadUSB device. Yeah. Okay, so it's running. And We press the little execute button, and there we go. We have a shell. Okay, let's just look at another script. One for a Windows device. So here I am just shopping, and let's plug it in and press the button. And, well, as you can see, it's it's not a bad script. It doesn't do something bad. It just makes it look like your computer has an update, but I guess it shows there's possibilities. So, how does it look? I mean, like, practically, actually. Like, how does the thing actually look when you run it? Well, let's see. Plug it in, and hopefully we can see that. Yeah. So, on the SD card, you have different scripts. Unfortunately, well, there's a way to get longer file names, but with the time and effort I put into it, it doesn't do all that. It just lists them all. So, starting up here, the first letter, it's either a W or an L. If it's a W, it's a script for a Windows computer. If it's an L, it's a script for a Linux system. Pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. So if we say, I kind of like this one. It's for a Linux system, and it creates a fake SSH. And not a fake SSH. What am I thinking? It sends a shell to another IP address. So when you select it, it's not showing up on the camera very well, but the color of that box is different. I guess if I hold it at this angle, you can kind of see. And then all you do is press execute, and it runs. Right here, at the very top. Will you be able to see that? There you go. You can see that's the script that runs, the text of it.